So I have to ask, Tennessee, you were there at the same time as Peyton Manning. Is there a
Yeah.
bump into him story? Did you meet him?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, there's a few different stories. We were college students, so there's one really funny one that I will not tell here. And but I was working in that department. He was just, I mean, the thing about Peyton, and this is in no way to demean him. I think what you have to understand is the person you see, he's very, very genuine, but like his role is he's a fantastic football player because that's what he lives and breathes. Like that's the guy. Like there's nothing, I would not have gone to him for my homework. And that does not, again, not to demean him. He's not at all dumb. So I'm talking to this group of elderly folks one day. I work at the NCA and they found out I went to school with Peyton. So I'm talking to them and I say something about, listen, and the kid, know, fellow student, but he just lived and breathed football. So anything I had to say to him or that he had to say to me was about football. And this lady comes up after, and she's 80-year-old lady, however old, and she says, "You make him sound stupid. He graduated with honors." And I said, "Well, first of all, he's not stupid, but secondly, if I could play football like that, I would have graduated with honors at Tennessee too." So, so, I mean, in all honesty, there's stories, but I will say he wanted to be a normal college student. The coolest thing about him as a classmate was you could, in between classes, anybody that was in school with him had a bump into him moment because what he didn't want and what he would not do is sign an autograph for a fellow student or any of those kind of things. We weren't cell phones weren't something that proliferated everywhere. So I can't imagine he would be able to be who he was if he went to college now because of all the selfies and things and videos and blah blah blah. But in between classes, he was always in the quad. He was just another student, and that's what he wanted. And if you treated him different, he really irked him. And everybody kind of knew that, respected that. It was cool. So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about the guy at all. But I will say, like he was a football robot. Like that's who he is. But man, I mean, it's hard to argue that he should have been, right? But that's kind of a little bit of insight there.